Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and there was another MLB trade today, and this time the New York Mets are trading reliever David Robertson to the Miami Marlins as the fire sale for New York continues to happen. New York made one move at the deadline, or they've made one move so far with trades, but I think it was one move where they were trading like a couple minor league pitchers for like major league pitchers. So it was actually a trade to help them. But this is like really the first trade the Mets have made, throughout all the trades we've seen that is kind of like the fire sale. And today they traded David Robertson, who's been having an unbelievable season off the bullpen for the Mets this year, even though the Mets have been terrible. David Robertson has been traded to the Miami Marlins. The team announced Friday the Mets received two minor league position players who are, one's outside of the top 20, one's inside the top 20. Two, decent prospects. Infielder Marco Vargas, who is the 18th best was the 18th best prospect on the Marlins, and catcher Ronald Hernandez, who is the 21st best prospect on the Marlins. The only thing about these two guys is, it sounds like these guys could be some decent players, but Ronald Hernandez, he's not. There's always an ETA for players on the top prospects, and his ETA, his estimated major league debuts not supposed to be till 2026. Marco Vargas, the other guy they got in this trade, his estimated major league debuts not supposed to be till 2027. I like this trade for the Mets. I'm gonna go over David Robertson's stats first before I get in more in depth. He's 4-2 this season with a 2.005 ERA. He's pitched in 40 games with 44 innings pitched. He's given up 31 hits, 13 walks, and 48 strikeouts. Has been really good for the Mets this year. It's not that bad of a trade for the Mets. It's just, this trade makes it look like the Mets could be maybe even going into some rebuild state. I don't know. If you think about this, David Robertson, he was going to be a free agent this year, this upcoming free agency in 2024. He was going to be a 2024 free agent. Not only that, but he's aging. He's 38 years old. He's going to be almost 39 years old to start next season. He's getting at the end of his career. That's one thing. That's the second thing. Honestly, I don't know if he would have returned to New York. So if you think about this, they got two really solid prospects for David Robertson, who's been pitching lights out this year for them, and a guy who is also going to be a free agent this year. So you got two guys who could really potentially turn into something for New York, but the only con of this trade is if they're going to be productive, it's not going to be for a while, because these guys aren't expected to make their major league debuts as of right now until 2027 and 2026. Maybe, in a new organization, maybe that possibly changes to an earlier date, but I think the Marco Vargas guy, I think he was just drafted recently. I don't think in this year's draft, but I think he was drafted in one of the drafts before. Either was the 2021 or the 2022 MLB draft, but I think he was just recently drafted. It's a good trade for New York, but at the same time, you're getting good prospects for David Robertson, who's pitched the lights out for them this year, but both guys are probably not going to be playing for them for a while. I like the trade for New York, but enough talking about New York. How about Miami? They made two really solid moves in the last couple of days. They traded for Minnesota reliever Jorge Lopez, and they had to trade one of their relievers who's been solid this year, but I still think I can't remember the reliever they gave up for Jorge Lopez. But I still think, the other guy that they gave up, and God help me, I can't remember his name. He had some better stats than Jorge Lopez, but in my opinion, I believe Jorge Lopez is a better pitcher than him. So I thought they made a great trade there. Now they get David Robertson. Miami's been really good this year, and now their bullpen has improved a lot, adding in Jorge Lopez and David Robertson. Miami's bullpen hasn't been great this year. It's been okay, but now it's going to be even better adding in David Robertson and Jorge Lopez. I love this move. I love multiple, both moves they've made in the last 2 days, getting David Robertson and Jorge Lopez. I love this trade for the Marlins. I like it for the Mets. Just the only thing is you're getting two really good prospects who could be something, but they're not expected to, make it to the majors for a while. That's the only not good thing for the Mets in this trade. But it's looking like the Mets are going to be, it's looking like they're going to be, sellers at the trade deadline, not buyers. And it's going to be looking like the Mets are going to be, getting rid of a lot of good players on their team. I still think guys like Lindor. I don't think guys like Lindor or Alonso are going to be going anywhere. I think those are the only two guys that aren't available on the Mets, but I think everybody else is, including Verlander and Scherzer. But here's my thoughts on the trade. That's it. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Let me know your thoughts on the trade.